afternoon. We're here with Chris Pennell at the Vale Golf Club. The Vale Golf Club is looking magnificent. This is just before we're going to go and have a game of golf, so we're looking forward to that. And now the sun's out and the rain stopped. So Chris, we're going out to play, but first of all, you're obviously coming to the end of a legendary career at Worcester. I keep saying you're the most capped player, but you keep telling me you're not.
No.
But just give us a brief synopsis or overview of how long you've been playing there for.
Oh, so I got my first opportunity at Worcester when I was 17 years old, which is an awful long time ago now. I don't like to admit, but yeah, I've spent my entire rugby career there. I feel very fortunate to have done so. And if I'm honest, it was never something that was on my radar as a kid. I didn't think I'd play professional rugby. So I feel very fortunate to have been doing what I've been doing for as long as I have now.
And obviously there's been some career ups and downs. You've had some injuries, obviously, from a personal point of view, but just give us a couple of the highlights of the career at Worcester to start with.
Yeah, so I guess we're one of those teams where unfortunately we haven't won as often as I'd have liked, so maybe some of those victories stand out more than it would have at another team, but for sure the highlight would be the Bristol promotion match that we played in 2015. I don't think anything would ever come close to those sort of emotions and those feelings and the pressures in that game.
So you've been very modest there, because if what I remember of it, because I remember it well, the winning try?
Yes, yeah, I was lucky enough to be put away by Ryan Lamb and Ryan Mills, some quick thinking by them at the scrum in the end. And then beating Exeter away from home a couple of years back, right, when they were top of the league and European champions. That was a really big moment. Beating Bristol at home again in the Premiership when we won by 50 points a couple of seasons back as well. I think they're probably the top three that stand out.
And then just carrying on the Worcester theme, just for now, there's obviously been quite a few coaches at Worcester. Quick fire questions for you. Best coach you've played under?
Dean Ryan.
The best player you've played with?
Shane Dram.
The most influential player at Worcester that you've played with?
Chris Latham.
Why?
He taught me the most, for sure. From a very selfish point of view, being on the pitch with him, I learnt more about how to play fullback than sort of I have probably for all of the years combined since. He was just phenomenal, the way he managed himself on the pitch and controlled the players around him. I just learned so much. Every minute on the pitch was worth an hour.
And the last question on Worcester. So I've known you for a long time, and you tell me now honestly, how close have you come to leaving Worcester over your career? Because obviously you've had your benefit year, you've been at the club forever. How close did you come to leaving?
Never really close, to be honest. I was always happy with the direction the club was going, and whoever was in charge at the time during those contract negotiations, they all had, what I believe to be the right vision for the place to go forward. Just unfortunately, I guess we've never stuck with one direction for long enough to see if it works. But there were conversations with other clubs, but just never anything sort of concrete on the table. Right, sign this or sign this, because the conversations with Worcester always tended to go the way I wanted.
So no regrets about staying at Worcester then?
No regrets.
Good. I'm glad to hear that anyway. So obviously now you are going to be leaving Worcester. Your final contract's coming to an end. So all good things come to an end. So what's the future holding for you? You've got some interesting things possibly going to be happening.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, my body still feels good. I still enjoy playing rugby, so I'm hoping to carry on playing for another couple of seasons at least. I think, as you mentioned, I had an awful lot of injuries, particularly at the early end of my career, which I think has led to me having life in the legs at the latter end now. So yeah, I feel like I'm still able to play the game that I want to play. So exploring opportunities there, potentially over in the US, which could be really exciting. Also studying to be a residential surveyor. So Clark and Jay surveyors in Worcester have been fantastic and are mentoring me through that process. Hoping to still be involved at Worcester in some capacity, potentially. And yeah, conversations are kind of ongoing there. So And also, I'd like to be out on the golf course a lot as well, which I think is earned.
Yeah, so obviously, rugby, that's the rugby side. Obviously, sport runs in your family. You know, cricket is probably the next sport. Because I remember actually playing cricket with you and the Radfords in 6-man teams, competitions at Evesham, and we're talking a long time ago. So, you know, rugby was the number 1 sport, cricket the number 2 sport for you?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah, for sure. I don't think I ever had the opportunity to play professionally or anything, but I certainly enjoyed it. It was a real passion.
That was going to be my next question, because I do remember you being a good cricketer.
Yeah.
Any regrets about not going down that route, or did you prefer just to go on your own way and make rugby your career?
I think, to be fair, I was never really put under any pressure as a kid to go in any direction. It was purely a case of what did I enjoy doing, and I think, you know, the blunt matter of it, I preferred rugby to cricket. So I think had I tried to go down the professional route, ultimately I wouldn't have been as passionate about it in cricket, so it probably wouldn't have worked out.
Okay. And then obviously the number 3, we know you like your golf, and you're quite a good golfer, so we're going out to have another game in a minute. And so, any highlights on the golf course yet, or are you still waiting for that?
I'm waiting for that.
Still waiting for that, okay.
Hopefully this summer.
But you're obviously trying to play a bit more golf then, now things are winding down at Worcester.
I'd love to. I've always really enjoyed my golf, just never played consistently enough to get much better than I am, really. So, yeah, I'll hopefully get a bit more golf in this summer, and then who knows? It's such a enjoyable thing to do 90% of the time. So yeah, hopefully be out here a lot more.
Okay, so that's good. So a couple of final things. First of all, there is one thing as a highlight. I know you're a modest man, but you know, one of the highlights of the career must have been playing for England. I know it was only 1 cap, but surely that must have been the ultimate kid's dream to play for England.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'll appreciate it a lot more looking back when I eventually hang the boots up, because it was all such a whirlwind of a thing. But yeah, to have that cap is it means a huge amount, probably more so for the family than it does for me in a lot of ways, because it was the sacrifices that Mum and everyone went through to get me to the Sunday morning training sessions and everything, and put me through school and everything. So certainly more for them, I'd say.
Okay, all right, well, I'll tell you what, thanks for the chat, and it's been very interesting. But we're now going to go out on the golf course. We'll see how you're getting on, see how the game's coming along,
yeah,
and see whether we've got any highlights on the course.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,